Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're going to do a review of the GunSkin's kit for a rifle and a scope. Why did I go with the GunSkin for my scoped rifle? Well, really, the true answer, fear. Yeah, I could have spray painted it like I do my carbines, no problem, and it would have provided camouflage. But it's a beautiful rifle, and I love it. And one of the things is spray painting firearms does cancel value out quickly. More than one gun store tells me you want to cut your gun value in half, put spray paint on it. So there was a definite fear to do it. There was the fear if I screwed it up. And the GunSkins come through as a great advantage on that. They're a vinyl style kind of decal, and that's kind of doing the GunSkin injustice calling it a decal. But you peel the vinyl off, you put it on the section you want, you heat it up, it adheres to the gun, and voila, you have your camouflage, and you also have some corrosion resistant protection. And the advantage is 2-3 years from now, let's say, you know what, I don't want Vietnam Tiger Stripe on this rifle, I want to go with multicam or Pentagon Green Zone. Okay, get the heat gun out, heat it up, peel off the Vietnam Tiger Stripe, and then go through the whole process again with the new camouflage pattern. So as my needs change, I can change with it. If I have the gun hydrographically dipped, it's hundreds of dollars, and whatever I have it dipped in or Cerakoted in, that's what the gun's going to be. If I pick, hey, it's woodland camouflage, and I get it Cerakoted in woodland, it's going to be Cerakoted in woodland, no matter if I want to change. Now with my Vietnam Tiger Stripe thing, if I up and decide to leave Virginia and go live in Arizona, where it's a much different environment, well, off can come the Tiger Stripe, on can go a desert pattern. So you have flexibility with this, yet you get all the protection with it too. So it's a pretty good deal. Camouflaging your rifle is an important thing. It's not for everyone, and I don't camouflage every rifle I own, but certainly there are some I think need to be. And I've done different methods. I've done the hydro dipping, I've done now a few with GunSkins, and I've done some with the traditional rattle can. Break out the Krylon and just spray paint the thing. Each has their advantages and disadvantages, the main one being cost. When I hydro dipped a handgun in multicam, it ended up costing me with shipping, receiving, and some other fees charged by the person doing the hydro dipping, nearly $200 it cost. So that's a pretty expensive process. The next method of camouflaging your firearm is using a GunSkins type method. GunSkins are a decal, basically, that you peel off and place onto the rifle and trim to fit. And it doesn't have to be a rifle, it can be literally anything. They can do pistols, rifles, shotguns, long guns, carbines, even different pieces of gear like binoculars. It's a lot more cost effective than hydro dipping, fraction of the cost. Their kits range from $10 to a magazine up to $60 for gear and long gun kits. So there's a wide range of price, but there's a wide range of what they cover too. One of the points that GunSkins point out is they're providing protection through camouflage, not just from being spotted, but the GunSkins themselves are made of vinyl, which makes them moisture resistant. Matter of fact, they say it makes the guns waterproof. I wouldn't go that far, but I definitely can see where it really cut back on you experience any rust or corrosion. So if that's an environment you're operating in, this is also another advantage to you as you consider. The third method of camouflaging your firearm is spray paint, the traditional rattle can method. It is by far the least expensive way to do it. Krylon makes special camouflage colors in OD green, brown, black, tan. They're all flat colors, and you can literally make whatever pattern you want. It can be one in your head. You can buy templates out there. Any way you look at it, it's the most cost-effective option. The problem you have with it is that it's not durable. If you look in the link below, you'll see my Desert Brutality video where I talk about the rifle, and you'll see it was painted up for that contest, and it had never been used before that except to be zeroed, and then it got used in 2 days in Desert Brutality, and the paint took a beating from rubbing up against me operating the selector lever, where I grabbed the rifle. Those all took wear and tear on it and wore off the paint. Now the overall effect is it gets you that battle-worn look, which is, you know, it's cool, and it also kind of adds to the pattern in a way of breaking it up. And if you like that, that's great. The other advantage of it, you start getting wear marks on it, grab the spray paint again, it's fixed. But it's not the most durable solution. Here we have the GunSkins rifle kit and scope kit in Vietnam Tiger Stripe. This is a Savage 110. The kit was set up for a stock rifle in the conventional pattern. And when I say conventional pattern, I mean traditional style rifle stock, no pistol grip, no collapsible stock, anything like that. Kind of what you expect a rifle to look like. The kit comes semi-pre-cut. What do I mean by semi-pre-cut? Well, what I mean is for the left and rear stock portions behind the trigger guard, there are pieces cut and shaped to that style, where you pull off the piece, put it on the right side or left side as appropriate, and then you just trim off the excess for what you need, because each stock's going to be a little bit different. The next piece you get is a big piece for your barrel, and it'll cover up to a 30-inch barrel, so that's nice and generous. And once you put your barrel piece on, then you have what would basically be the part of your stock, the forearm, that goes from in front of the trigger guard out to the end of the stock. And you get a piece for that wraps around it. And then you get some individual small pieces for doing your particular receiver. The instructional video provided by the people at GunSkins is excellent. You just log on to YouTube, type in GunSkins rifle, and you'll find it right away, or you'll find it on their website. Also, you have to order a separate kit if you're doing a rifle scope, and they call it scope skin. And the kits are pretty reasonably priced. If I remember correctly, the rifle kit's about $40. The scope kit, I think about $20 or $24 comes to mind. Either way, you can check the price out on their website, and each type of kit has its own instructional video. So I did the rifle first, and then I followed up and did the scope. The instructions are fairly easy to follow. The videos each take 20 to 30 minutes to watch for the installation. That's a little bit deceptive in my mind. Not intentionally so, not maliciously so, but you're not going to get done that fast. And I highly recommend, if you have an iPad or your iPhone or stuff, you can watch YouTube while you're doing it. That's kind of a helpful thing to do. It'll keep you out of trouble. The kit is very handy to use. While you can do the heat transfer using a hairdryer, I highly suggest that you don't. I bought their installation kit with the heat gun, and it worked excellent. Matter of fact, originally I found out about GunSkins that it was at SHOT Show, and at their booth they handed out a free sample where you could do an AR mag, and I did that trying to use a hairdryer. And while it came out okay, it definitely showed the limitations of a hairdryer. So that convinced me that when I decided to do the rifle, that I definitely needed the heat gun and the rest of their installation kit, and I'm glad I did it. It makes it a lot easier. You'll notice down here where you grab on, I don't know how well it's shown up in the video, but there is a texture. There was a texture built into the stock, and you can still feel it. The texture, it's hard to see, but when you grab hold, you can feel the original factory texture there. So you didn't lose any gripping surface by putting on a GunSkin. Up on the scope, I made adjustments for the magnification ring. I didn't want it covered up because I wanted to see those numbers, so I just left them uncovered. And same up here on the forward part of the scope for when I adjust my parallax and focus the rifle. Didn't want that messed up either, so I left that uncovered. But as you can see, as I pull back, that in the scheme of things, that doesn't make that big a disruption to the camo pattern. So leaving some bare exposed areas, not that bad thing to do here on the gun. And things are still compatible with the rifle, as you can see. Still have my bipod mounted. Putting the GunSkin on did not interfere with that. And back here on the rear, the riser I have for my cheek, the GunSkin pattern didn't interfere with that. It can still be applied, so I can still have the perfect alignment with my scope. So overall, I get a nice camouflage pattern for my rifle, and not a lot of cost. In comparison, I would say GunSkins cost at least half of what getting your rifle dipped in hydrographically is the traditional method. The other good thing about GunSkins is, while in this particular project I chose to go with Vietnam Tiger Stripe, they offer a lot of patterns. They have all the ATAX patterns, they have a lot of the Cryptek patterns, they have the Pentecote patterns, they have military OCP, which we all know is just a version of multicam. You don't have to pay multicam rights for using. And they have a couple of other patriotic patterns that look like the American flag, or thin blue line, thin red line kind of patterns. They have some zombie themed patterns. So there's a pretty wide range of GunSkins that you can get depending on your needs. We hope you found this segment on gun skins helpful and informative. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for more gun camouflage videos.